Hey everybody, Tom here again, and I've got my parachute triplane SSTO, finally, with an angry cat on the front, and we're going to try to see if we can get this thing into orbit. I'm going to retract the whiskers, because we don't want those to blow up due to aerodynamic forces. But you can see it is a triplane with 3 tiers of wings, 16 aerospike engines, and 1 big mainsail on the back. And we're going to try to get this thing off the runway. It is really stable right now. That is so awesome. Okay, I've had a lot of trouble just getting this ridiculous thing to launch. And it wouldn't be a parachute triplane without the parachutes, so we're going to deploy all of those. Off we go. Don't hit that thing. Off we go. We're off the runway. It actually launched. I am so happy right now. This has been such a pain to get off the runway in a controlled way. But that was so smooth. Alright. So now we just take our angry cat, point it to the moon like your pinky finger, and go into orbit. You can do it. You're ridiculous. This is like one of the ugliest things I've ever built. Guaranteed. It's the weirdest. It is so weird because I based it on the original triplane design, but these things are not suited for high-speed aerodynamic flight. So I have these Kerbals in these cargo bays, and they're like, you just cannot fly this thing like a standard SSTO. You'll notice that I'm pulling way up. I don't even have any liquid fuel engines that rely on atmospheric oxygen to burn, because it doesn't matter. The drag from the chutes is so high that you cannot ascend to a reasonably thin air altitude where you would normally accelerate to something like 1400 to 1600 meters per second in a normal SSTO. Instead, there are 2 reasons that I'm doing this, I guess. One, the chutes create a ton of aerodynamic drag. They also create a ton of lift, but they create so much drag that I'm just going to climb up to a very steep angle, get out of the thick air into the thin air, and go into an orbital burn. I said 2 reasons. What was the second reason? Oh yeah, and I would like these guys to survive. So they have a pretty good survival chance now that they're in these cargo bays. The other reason that I changed these from cargo bays to originally they were I-beams, and I found that the I-beams created a fair amount of aerodynamic drag themselves. So this design should get you up there, and you can see I started out with, I don't know, well over 20,000 liquid fuel and oxidizer, and it's burning through it pretty fast. I've got that staged so that the front burned out, the mid section is going to stay, but we should be burning through the top and the bottom right now, and we are. So this should be working. Kind of veering off. It's going to straighten out in the interest of improved control. This thing better not flip over. That'd be ridiculous. We're going 300 meters per second into the upper atmosphere of Kerbal. We still have the Mad Cat. He looks pretty angry. I think I did a pretty good job. The nose is the tip of an air brake, and I have the air brake authority limiter set to 0, so it will never come out no matter what you do, and it's strictly horizontal. So that's cool. and it's got a lot of whiskers, and it looks kind of angry. I like it. This is looking promising. We still have 13,000 units of oxidizer, 11,000 units of liquid fuel. I'm climbing up. We're accelerating. We're out of the thick atmosphere. I think it's time. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to go RCS on for stabilization, and I'm going to start to tilt down. I've got Werner engines on the top, bottom, and all sides. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Just because this thing has so much weight, it's hard to control. I also have, you can't see them here, but there are reaction wheels nested in the front nose cone. I have 3 large ones there and 1 in the back. So between that, the gimbal, and the RCS, it should be controllable. Now we're at 34,000 meters. I'm tilting down. I think I'm going to go down even more. We just attained orbital altitude. No prograde. Let's take it prograde, take it in. Good. And now I'm just going to take this thing to a nearly horizontal altitude because I want to pick up speed and go orbital. I think that's the technical term, going orbital. $40,000. Once we're above 55,000, that will be a good situation to be in. But you can see the chutes are still out, which is interesting, right? We're 55,000 meters above the surface of Kerbal, and the chutes are still out, rigid. We're going 1,600 meters. I'm going to switch to map view and see what we're doing here. Our apoapsis is increasing. We still have 3,000 units of liquid fuel. I think we can tone this down. I don't even need to technically go prograde. But we easily can attain orbit. I'm going to go down. You can see I'm declining. Now that we're out of the atmosphere, I have a little bit of leeway on my kind of angle of attack to attain an orbital trajectory, and I can do that by tilting down pretty far. You can see my apoapsis is still increasing, so I could go down further and whip in. Oh man, I don't want to do that though. I'm going to let this thing go prograde. Kill my orbital. Alright. So we're going to go old school. The most efficient way to raise your periapsis is to burn at apoapsis. And I'm not going to plot a maneuver node, but I am going to plot a maneuver node. Let's do it. If these guys go side to side, that's good enough. We're just going to eyeball it after that. But I would like to warp up there. So we're definitely suborbital. I still have 1,000 units of liquid fuel, and our periapsis is at 123,000 meters, which means we have a pretty good chance of attaining a full orbit. I have a ton of batteries on each of these little parachute Kerbal wing pods, and nearly 10,000 electric charge, so I don't really have to worry about that. Right now my main concern is oxidizer and liquid fuel. We're doing pretty well though. Let's pop the whiskers out. This is nice. Okay. So I'm pretty pleased with this. This took a lot of work to get these stupid parachute wings up into a suborbital trajectory. And we're going to try. Let's just burn. I'm going prograde. We're just going to burn. That's fine. Look at that. I want to go to 70,000. There we go. Perfect. And if you don't call that orbital, you don't know what you're doing. That's awesome. Alright. So this is it. This is the SSTO parachute triplane. It made it to orbit with cat whiskers intact. If I flip this, there we go. Awesome. Oh man. That's sick. Now the question is, where do we want to land? And we will, I do have a pretty solid orbit, and I will connect with the Space Center. What's that guy? The desert airfield. What if we could land on the desert airfield? That would be cool. Let's plot a retrograde maneuver here. I'm going to take this guy in. That is too low. It's probably fine. 48. I'm going to take it down to 40. Right over here. Plop this right there. This is all just gut feel. I'm going to try to... Alright, let's warp to the maneuver. It's all good. We'll see what happens here. Oh yeah, you'll notice that we exceeded 70,000 meters and the Kerbal chute's cut. So that is the cutoff when you're above 70,000 meters. I'm going to close the cargo bays. Got those all hooked up to an action group. I think I also had some solar panels. Oh yeah. So we can recharge our batteries even though they're pretty much full. It's all good. Yeah. Alright. I forgot where I am here. Let's flip to the maneuver node. I'm going to let the geez, I forgot what those things are called. Reaction wheels. Oh my gosh. I'm going to let the reaction wheels do their work, flip over to the maneuver node, and then we're going to kick into a retrograde burn and try to land on the desert airfield. And we're going to kind of eyeball where we end up. I don't think this is going to take much to get us over there. And we don't have much to work with. 800, 700, liquid fuel and oxidizer. But I think we're going to hit it with some to spare. So yeah, this is all good. 39,000. So what I'm hoping we'll do is start to enter the atmosphere. I'm going to go radial out when I get here. Basically aero brake down and onto the desert airfield. This thing can land I've tested that as well with very low fuel. It's super well balanced, and we'll see if we can land. I'm going to do another. I'm going to kill this. Let's go warp here. But yeah, this is, I'm pretty happy with this. It does not look pretty, but it is the parachute triplane SSTO with some modifications to get around some necessary limitations of aerodynamic drag. We should probably, for good measure, pull in the whiskers. Just doesn't look quite as angry out here in space. Where am I here? 67,000. Let's go radial out. I am having trouble figuring out where I am going. Okay. I'm going to pull in the solar panels. And we will rotate auto camera. I would like to just have a free camera. There we go. That is much better. Sorry about that. And moving that way. I think we'll want to be right about here with all of this surface area exposed to try to aero brake down onto the desert airfield. I'm going to speed up time until we get down a little bit further. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, we're getting some heat. 54,000. Alright, this makes sense. I'm going to cut it down to 1 because this is pretty big overall, and I don't want to deal with any kind of physics bugs for a larger craft. I'm going to also kick in RCS. You can see this will very slowly it's a little goofy. I don't even know if I need that. I really don't think I need that right now. Maybe when I'm lower down. Oh wow. You can see I have already... We may not even make the desert airfield. I think we're going to land. I'm going to go prograde otherwise. So that slowed us down a lot. We'll enable RCS again. So I want to be in a position where we don't land in the ocean. I think we will be able to at least land on some of these islands. So I probably could have plotted that right over the desert airfield and been okay. Instead I cut it a bit too short. Let's see how we're doing. So we're still going really fast. 2,200 meters per second. I'm going to try to veer over. these islands over here. This is going to be a wild landing. Oh, okay. We're just going to let this thing go. I think we're okay. So these are heating up. I'm gonna go radial out, slow it down. Let's see, I think, what is heating up here? Oh, it's the solar panels. Okay, I don't care about these too much. I have tons of electricity. It's gonna be fine. You can see my sweet computer at work with my pixelated shadow. I'm gonna get a better one someday. Alright, that's better. I feel a lot better about this now. We'll go back to prograde. We are going to try to land on this island. Whatever this thing is. 27,000 feet. Meters. Whatever. 27,000. Oh boy, that's nice. Okay. The other thing we're gonna do, alright, let's kick in RCS again. I'm gonna open the bays, gain control, flip over, yeah, so the RCS really helps. Sweet, okay, that's much better. That looks smooth over there. That patch over to the right. That's where I want to go. Oh my. I don't know if we'll make it that far. I'm not a fan of landing in any of these areas except for this one straight in front of me. And I'm going to deploy my second set of chutes. Come on, guys. I'm gonna cut RCS. I would certainly like to just deploy these two guys. Once I get to 5,000, they should deploy. Let's try. Maybe we end up landing over here. Maybe that's a safer bet. There's a nice little sandbar there. This looks kind of bumpy. That might be what we have to do. We'll see. I think that's what we're going to have to do. This isn't going so well. Alright. You can see these guys deployed. I have some forward lift. That is starting to feel a bit better. I'm going to start the engines. I do not have much, but I need to get to land. I need to land on land, right? That would be good. 200. 100. And that is it. Hopefully that is enough to carry us over to this island. I think it will be. I think it will be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to land this. But if I can, I will be impressed. Gimbal locked. Let's do a little more just steady state control. Alright. Let's drop the gear. These other dudes, I'm gonna tweak their deployment altitude. You too, quick. Okay. That's better. Okay, and then let's just take a look at, alright, now everybody's deployed. Let's take a look at the best place we can land. Used all my RCS to kind of plot where I want to go. This is pretty bad. I'm going to try to the extent that I can to land. Oh my god, this is pretty bad. But okay, we're gonna use this mountain as kind of a ramp. Let's see what we can do. Come on, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Brakes on. Okay. Oh my god. It might work. Okay, we're going way up. Way up. Come on, we're gonna lose that engine. We might lose everything. We're gonna go over the other way. Oh, come on. It's relatively okay. Kind of going end over end. Kind of soft. That is really, really weird. It is not a complete disaster. It's kind of a gentle crash. Look at this thing. And they still have the chutes out. There they go. Everybody seems to be okay. Let's repack our chute. And how do I get out of here? Who is this? Eriton. Leave your seat. Get up there. And then you can parachute safely to the ground. Right? Nice. That's pretty glitchy. And we can watch the parachute triplane slowly overtake us. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We did lose the Mad Cat. That's unfortunate. But hope you enjoyed. If you like this, subscribe, like the video, hit me on Patreon. I do think I will get a new computer soon, so these are going to be a little less glitchy if I have other crazy ideas. Have a good one, everybody.